Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wished you could turn coordinate plane practice into, I don't know, a high-stakes adventure instead of just another worksheet? Well, you are in the right place. Today, we're diving into a game called Sink or Swim. You know, we've all been there. Practicing graphing can get a little, well, repetitive. So the real question for us as educators is, how do we transform this essential skill into something our students actually want to do? How do we make it a genuine adventure? And that's where Sink or Swim comes in. It really tackles that challenge head on, turning what could be a dry skill into a super engaging game of strategy, a little bit of suspense, and some fun, friendly competition. The concept? It's simple and honestly kind of brilliant. Think of the classic game Battleship, right? But instead of a plastic ocean grid, we're playing on a coordinate plane. Students become these little strategists, trying to find and sink their opponent's hidden points before their own are discovered. It's fast, it's super engaging, and it is absolutely packed with learning. So you're probably wondering, how does it actually work? Let's walk through the rules. And don't worry, the beauty of this game is how simple it is. You can get a round started in just a couple of minutes with stuff you definitely already have in your classroom. Okay, first, the setup. You just need a standard deck of cards, but go ahead and pull out all the tens. For this game, aces count as 1, and the face cards become 11, 12, and 13. Then each player picks a symbol for themselves, an O, an X, whatever. And here's the key detail. Everyone secretly marks 10 of their coordinates on one shared grid. That shared grid is awesome because it keeps everyone focused on the same playing field.
All right, now for the gameplay. When it's your turn, you draw 2 cards. And here is the part that is just genius. You have to call out both possible ordered pairs. So if you draw a 4 and a 2, you have to call out both 4, 2 and 2, 4. This is such a fantastic, natural way to reinforce that order really matters in a coordinate pair. Your opponents check their secret spots, and they have to call out sink if you hit one or swim if you missed.
So the game keeps going like that, with players drawing cards and calling out coordinates. And the goal? Well, it's to be the last strategist standing. The very last player who still has coordinates left on the grid is our winner. Okay, theory is great, but let's walk through a quick sample round. You'll see how this builds not just graphing skills, but also really important communication and strategic thinking. So picture 2 students playing. Player 1, who's using the O symbol, draws a 5 and a jack. They follow the rule and call out both possible coordinates, 5, 11, and 11, 5. Now listen to how player 2 responds. They don't just say miss. They say swim. I tried to space my coordinates out, so you missed me. See that? That's the beginning of that rich math talk we're always trying to encourage. They're explaining their strategy. Okay, now it's player 2's turn. They draw a 4 and a 2. So they call out both possibilities for everyone to hear, 4, 2 and 2, 4. Player 1 checks their secret list and has this aha moment. They announce, wait, my own O is at 4-2, sink. They've been hit. They'll cross that point off their secret list and mark their O at 4-2 on the shared grid so everyone can see it. That self-checking part of the game is just so powerful for the learning process. So the game is obviously fun, but how can you really fold this into your classroom routine? Well, that's the beauty of it. The game is incredibly flexible. I mean, you could use it in math centers, for partner work, or as a really fun whole class review. You could even have students play in teams. And it's so easy to differentiate. For younger students, maybe just use a smaller 10 by 10 grid and have them mark only 5 spots. For your more advanced learners, you could challenge them to predict the probability of getting a hit before they even call out their numbers. But honestly, the real magic of Sink or Swim isn't just the gameplay itself. It's the conversations that it creates. This game is a fantastic engine for what we call math talk, where students are actually verbalizing their strategies and their reasoning. And this slide right here shows the difference perfectly. We want to help our students move from a simple "you got me" to explaining why a coordinate works. That coordinate works because the x value is 4 and the y value is 2. Instead of just "I'll put my points here," they can start justifying their choices, saying something like, "I chose that coordinate because it's near the edge, which might be less predictable." That is where the deep, lasting understanding is built. And hey, the learning doesn't have to stop when the game ends. You can follow up with really powerful discussion questions. For example, asking something like, why does switching XY to YX give a different location? That ties directly back to that core rule of the game and really solidifies why ordered pairs are, well, ordered. So when you put it all together, it's pretty clear this is way more than just a fun activity. It is a really comprehensive learning tool.
I mean, look at this. It directly reinforces key standards like graphing in the first quadrant. It builds spatial reasoning, communication, and teamwork. And you know what my favorite part is? No screens, no worksheets. It's just students engaged in face-to-face mathematical thinking. And, actually having fun.
It's just like the source material says. If you try a quick round of this in your classroom, you can really just sit back and watch your students dive into coordinate geometry with genuine enthusiasm. So why not give it a try? The setup takes, 2 minutes? But the potential for deep learning and real engagement is just huge. So the only question left is, what strategies, what patterns, and what mathematical insights will your students discover when they play Sink or Swim?